In the recent years, the car community has been building a very dark side to it that no one's really talking about. And by the end of this video, all of the dirty little secrets and stupid stuff going on in the car community will be exposed. Realistically speaking, I shouldn't have to say this, but I feel like I kind of need to say this. Stop being reckless in public, okay? I'm not really gonna yap about it or really lecture you on that, but like, let's be real. Hitting the freeway in your '01 Camry with like 3 brake pads, a flat tire, suspension that's about to give out. It's not really the best vehicle to be driving aggressively, like at all. And if you do Mac, which no matter what you think is possible, even if you are the best driver, like someone else can mess up and then you're both are just not in a good situation to say the least. But on to the next point. Why did BMW make a Supra? Why did Dodge discontinue the only thing Dodge is really known for? Their big old American V8s. Where is the car community really heading towards nowadays? And not even just with like the car brands, because that is a problem. Like I said, BMW making a Supra, some of you may be like, oh, like what do you mean? That's a cool car. Like I have one of those myself. Like it's so cool. I'm not saying it's not a cool car. I'm not saying you can't buy the car and enjoy it. I'm sure you can. But the problem is, it's not a Supra. Like they only named it a Supra because they know people like the old Supras. And if people are buying this car suspecting an experience like the old Supra, you're not getting anything close to that. You're getting a BMW Z4 with a different badge. Like essentially that's what it is. And Dodge, like dude, why is Dodge discontinuing like the Hellcats and like all their big V8s and like switching to electrics and trying to make a quote unquote electric muscle car? Like if someone were to ask you what's one of the key traits of a muscle car that makes a muscle car a muscle car, and I'm sure most people will say something along the lines of the engine, the power, the sound, the exhaust, the ability to do burnouts or something like that. But the people making the cars are not the only ones being unoriginal here. The people buying the cars and then building them and then even making videos on them and posting them to the internet, they're pretty unoriginal too. Like you see so many people just wanting to buy the same car, build it the same way because they've seen so and so on the internet do so, and then they'll go make the same type of videos, like the same, especially like the cinematic type of videos, like the short form videos were just like their car sitting somewhere or like some rollers or whatnot. And I'm not saying those videos are bad. I'm not even saying it's bad to make those videos. If you make those videos every now and then, that's completely fine. Eventually I'll probably start doing that too once I modify the vehicle a lot more and it's like something more to look at, if you know what I mean. I know like the Hellcore right now is still pretty crazy and breaks a lot of necks and whatnot, but you know what I mean. Here comes the real dark secrets of the car community. There is so many people driving around either to car meets or just in general who's in the car community, a little car guy with like either a supercar or a Hellcat or some other nice expensive car, but it's not really their car. They either bought a Striker for like $2,000 or they stole it themselves or they got their money to buy their car in a very unethical and unlegit way. And how this hurts the whole car community is it raises the bar artificially. Like, let me explain this, okay? If you open your phone and you're scrolling through social media and all you see is high-end supercars and Hellcats and expensive muscle cars and whatnot, and even go to car meets and you see like the same thing, then that is your expectation. So when someone pulls up and something like the Hellcore, well, this is a little bit different because of the Hellcore. People do care about the Hellcore. If you've seen the car meet videos, it does get a lot of love, and I do appreciate that. Like anyone who has shown love to the Hellcore at our car meet, I appreciate you. You're a real one. It's been really cool to meet the people who like seen the videos in real life. But listen, if it wasn't the Hellcore and it was just a normal Honda Accord, which it was at one point, I did pull up to meets and no one really cared because it was just a normal Honda Accord. A little bit of exhaust work. I don't think it was even lower at the time. I probably had like plastic dip rims, so maybe it's a little understandable why they didn't care about that. So I'm not really trying to say like that should have been a car that a lot of people care about. Maybe that's a bad example. But listen, what I'm saying is that, at least for me specifically, so many people suspect that I should have already have the money to Hellcat swap my car because of two main reasons. First off, I'm a content creator, and most people just assume if you're a content creator, and I'm talking about most people in the sense of people who don't make content. Most of the people I've seen in the comments or I've personally talked to who don't make content are pretty out of touch with how much money a content creator can realistically make. And so many people just assume, oh, I'm rich and I'm just being a greedy. I just don't want to build a car. Or I have all the money to build a Hellcord, but I just don't want to do it. That's completely false. As soon as I have the bread, I'm going to do it. I might even get a loan for it. I'm probably going to get a loan for it. That's how bad I want to do it. Because there's so many more people that you know. Like, there's even people that, like, even have a rep for being, like, a good guy. Like, I'm a good guy. I'm in the car community with a cool car. People like me. But in reality, they're going home and doing some very unethical things to make their money. And like I said, I'm not sure, actually I don't know if I said this, but I'm not gonna drop any names or anything like that because I'm not trying to, make this a drama video. It's not trying to, spark any drama. I do want to spark conversation, of course. If you want, maybe even make your own video talking about this or drop in the comments your thoughts and opinions, please do, because I want this to be a discussion and I want to hopefully save the car community, And if you're a car content creator or any content creator for that means trying to grow, being original will generally get you further than just copying someone else. This might be a hot take. Some people may be upset at me for saying this, but I have to say it. It's my opinion. When it comes to building a car, there's a lot of disrespect and negativity in the car community, especially when it comes to if a shop build your car. Now, this car right here, I honestly do plan on having a shop build this because it's a crazy job. I don't have that experience. I don't have that time. I don't have the tools or resources, all that stuff. So it just makes sense to have a shop do that. And if some people were to disrespect me or discredit me just because I were to have a shop build this car, it just wouldn't make sense because it's still my car. I still went out of my way to work hard to get the money, get the ideas, and then go to a shop, find a shop that's willing to do it, and then be like, hey, let's do some business, let's make this happen. What I'm trying to say is that we need to be a little bit more positive in the car community. And that's kind of the simplest way to put it, because there's just so much negativity of people being like, oh, well, this car is slow, or you borrow an M340, low bro, couldn't afford an M3, or you bought a C43, why didn't you get a C63? But sometimes it is that case. Sometimes they just simply can't afford the higher spec and they want the higher spec, and sometimes they just generally want a different spec. Like, for example, when I bought my C43, even though I no longer have that vehicle, I generally wanted a C43 over a C63 because of the simple fact that, first, for that price range, I could get a facelift C43 over a pre-facelift C63, and the biggest deal, it's all-wheel drive versus rear-wheel drive. And my initial plan was to trade in my C3 Hushin and then just daily the C43, and I kind of want to keep an all-wheel drive car for the daily because, well, it's not really snowy right now, but if you peeped the other video when I was sliding this car in the snow, it gets a little snowy. Having an all-wheel drive daily is just what I like. I like the all-wheel drive daily. Isn't it kind of weird that people can work really hard to buy a car like a BMW M340, which isn't even a bad car, and people diss them just because there's a higher option available? Like, why can't you just be like, okay, like, that's a cool car, congrats, man, good. Or if you're really that hateful, don't say anything. Like, if you really got nothing good to say, don't say anything, Like, I'm not saying don't voice negative opinions if you have like a legit critique, other than just there's a higher spec available. Like, that just don't really make sense to me. I almost forgot to expose another dark secret about the car community, specifically about the content side. Let me just say, there's a lot more people in the car community that you are aware of buying followers. Like, they'll buy some followers and then start posting videos and then getting some real ones. Some of them will have mostly fake ones, but either way, it's just weird, like, it's weird activity, especially because if you learn the skill of content creation, you can gain more followers organically, legitly. Like, for real. Like, there's some people who have spent, like, I'm not gonna, say specific numbers, but I'm pretty sure it's in, like, the hundreds to thousands of dollars. Hundreds of dollars, potentially thousands of dollars on followers. Everyone is trying to be something they're not. And, dude, no, hold up. I'm about to cook. So many people have this expectation that they should be further than they actually are, and then try to help uphold this false image to the public. Some people will straight up take pictures and videos in cars. They were just their friends or something, and they were just like borrowing it for a day. Like, hey, give me like the group BMW, give me the group Trackhawk, or give me the group Striker Hellcat or whatnot. And I'm not even trying to like judge that, but it's like, if you're trying to make people believe that's your car and you're the only owner of that car and it's not your car, why? Like, no one wants to show the struggle story. Like, people just want to be at the end of the story, like at the good part of the story, where when they went in and they got the nice things and they got the money and they got the clout and the attention and everything they ever wanted. There's absolutely nothing wrong with just building up over time. Like, me specifically with the Hellcore, like, trust me, this is going to be a crazy story that will be told all over the world, probably. Well, I don't know about all over the entire world, but a lot of people will be telling this story and talking about it once I actually make this car real, because it has been so many years in the making. We're going on around like 2 years or so since I really started the Hellcore thing, damn near. But we're getting closer, trust me. Like, if you want to know how close we're getting, well, boom, here's a last episode of Road from Meme to Reality. Just click it, it's on the screen right now.